renounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
What is going on, everybody? Live on my channel, Lions Nation Unite, Facebook and YouTube, as well as Twitter. And folks, guess what? I already got the schedule for the beloved Detroit Lions. But before we break the schedule down, yeah, we got to hear a little bit early. I want to thank you, Cheifs Sports. My guy, Tom Downey over there. Let's talk about Ant-Man. What's going on, Ant-Man?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Looking forward to seeing the schedule. This is such a big year for us, and I think this is going to play such a pivotal part in how everything goes. I'm just eager to get it all out there.
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk about this schedule and show it to you guys. And without further ado, let me put the schedule up for everybody so you can see it. Here it is, folks. Now, this is me quickly writing it down so it looks like butt cheeks, but you'll get the picture here. Here is the schedule for the Detroit Lions. We start at Kansas City to start the year off in the NFL season, man. We're facing the Kansas City Chiefs. What do you think about that? The first game of the year is the Lions at Kansas City.
I mean, can't ask for a bigger game, can you? You know, the team that finished off hottest in the NFL last year in terms of the regular season, the one that's looking to make some noise, and we got to go to the Super Bowl champs, and we've got to put on a show. I mean, for me personally, I would like it. I would like this game to have been a little bit later, but I mean, hey, as far as spectators are going to go, this is going to be amazing. We know the team is going to be up for it. Even Patricia's Lions were up for it against Kansas City, so I don't know what the hell Dan Campbell's Lions are going to do, but yeah, this is curtain raiser. I can't wait already. Just want this day to arrive.
Folks, let me know in the comments section, are you happy that we literally are the first game of the year at Kansas City? Thursday night game. We got 3 Thursday games. Yes, that's the red. They're Thursday. We got, obviously, Monday Night Football. That is, Monday Night Football, Las Vegas Raiders, and then Thanksgiving, Green Bay. So right now, we got 4 primetime games. Do you guys like 4 primetime games? Let me know in the comment section. I actually said 4 last week. That's what I thought they'd get. What do you think about having 4 primetime games?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm already loading up on my caffeine here because for anyone who doesn't know, over here in the UK, a primetime game is very late. So the Thursday games kick off at about 1:15 in the morning, and the Monday ones. Oh no, wait! I think the Thursday one's about 12:15, and the Monday's about 1:15 in the morning. So we'll be going till about 4 or 5 o'clock. So, but we're just glad, you know. Good teams getting primetime slots, and we have gone through 2 years of hardship, of rebuilding, of tearing down a horrible roster, and we are now getting our dues. We've got so many great players. We're drafting really well, and you know, it's good to see the team getting what they are, getting what they deserve, which is national recognition. And hopefully, this is the year where all those narratives about the Lions in the past, you know, we can make that transition to the postseason, start winning games, and we now have the platform to do it.
And I tell you what, I seen that in the comment section there. It says, I think the bye week's perfect. I do too. Week 9, bye week. That is exactly halfway through the NFL season. I absolutely love that. That was one of the first things I wanted to take notice is, would we get screwed like at a bye week at 5? But no, it's week 9, perfectly in the middle of the NFL season. What is your thoughts on that?
I love it. I mean, we've been victim to some really early bye weeks in the last few years. I mean, I can't think of the last time we were at 9. It's usually 4 or 5. And it just so happens we've had really bad injury lists over these last few years. You know, we get through that game, then you have a long slog to the end of the season where the players are just going. And, you know, it's really difficult. So to have it right in the middle, that's perfect. You know, JMO's going to be back just before then. He'll have started getting going. Everyone will be able to rest up, get in sync, and then because that second half, there's a lot of away games. You've got 4 in your last 6. You want to get them charged. You want to get them ready. They're going to need to be, and to have that rest in the middle is going to be really good. And obviously, it's coming off the primetime game as well, so that is going to be a nice little bit of a break for us, a much needed one.
We go to week 2. So we're at Kansas City facing the Super Bowl champions. Then we're home against Seattle Seahawks, whom, hold on one second. Can you take over? It's my kid calling.
Yeah. So as Mike said, week 2, we are going to be facing the Seattle Seahawks at home. And how just is this fixture after everything the Seahawks put us through last year, the 3-point defeat in the regular season, which could have pushed us over into the playoffs, then the last week of the season that we don't really need to go over again. They screwed us out of that. And then in the draft, they decided they wanted to screw us out of Devon Witherspoon at 6. So we owe Seattle a lot. And to get them at Ford Field nice and early and put a dub down on them, that's going to be great. And again, we're going to be coming off a good break with the Kansas City game to start with. Hopefully we start well there. The home form is really good like last year. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that is a really good first 2 games. So the biggest test you're going to get all season, and then the team that we need to put one on over the week after. So those Seahawks got to be a good team. They've got to be a big test of our credentials, but we've got to win these games. This is a season where we need to start making the progress towards the postseason. We need to start well. 1 win in, 14 in the last 2 seasons, in the first 2 months of the season. They've got to be a big test for us, but I love it. And at Ford Field, I feel like we can beat anybody.
Folks, really quick, I'll be right back. I got to pick my daughter up. She just got released from work. So give me about 10 minutes and I'll be right back. Ant-Man, can you take over for about 10?
I will try my best, Mike. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, dear. Right. Absolute weird one. Me, Stone Lions Nation Unite. So, yeah, how are we feeling about the schedule, guys? You can see it there. So, Kansas City away, week 1, Seattle at home, week 2, and then we've got the Falcons at home as well. And I don't know. I think the Falcons had a sneaky good offseason. I know the quarterback situation is a little bit dicey, but our games against the Falcons in recent years have been tough, and they have been nerve-wracking, to say the least. Thinking back to the TJ touchdown a couple of seasons back, they beat us last year, the year before that, and I think they're a really good team, sneakily. So this is a tough schedule, and then you go into Lambeau, and who knows what the hell we are going to get with Green Bay this season. I think for a team that wants to show that it has playoff aspirations, this is the kind of start you want. You're going to have to put the medal to the test really early. Those are 2 very difficult away fixtures. And they're 2 home fixtures, which are going to take a lot to win against 2 very good teams. So I'm just looking forward to this season so much. Lisa goes, I think we pick off Atlanta 3 times. And maybe we do. I don't know. I like Desmond Ridder. I think he's a good quarterback. I hope Atlanta figure it out, just not against us. I think they've had a really good offseason, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. But obviously with us, we should be winning that game. That Seattle game, the Atlanta game, we should be winning. So I don't know. Those first 4 games, everybody, what do we think? What do we think that the record is going to be after? I would like to come out of that 3-1 for me. I think that sets you up for the season. I think we're going to hit the ground running, but 2 winnable home games, which we're going to need to. Can't win those, we're going to struggle for the rest of this year. And then we've got another revenge game against Carolina, who have stolen all our staff, a lot of our players. May as well call them the Carolina Lions at this point. We say we owe something to Seattle. We also owe something to Carolina as well. So in terms of 2 of the first 3 home games, I'm really looking forward to those, just because personally, I really want a big dollop of revenge on some of these guys. Like I say, the Seahawks, really, that just annoys me so much from last season. 3 points in the season, then that last week, then the draft. They've just been notching their way up on my list of teams that I don't like at this moment in time. Really want to win that. And the Carolina one, we know what happened to us last year. The Carolina Panthers, banjaxed the playoff campaign last year completely and utterly. And that still stings. They ran for 350 odd yards on us on that day. That stings. That's going to be a big test because they're going to have all the same running backs back. A lot of that team, it's just going to keep getting better. The Carolina Panthers are going to come and try and run through us again. And we've got to show that with our offseason acquisitions, with the draft, scheme, everything that we've learned from that game. So that is going to be a good barometer as to just where this team has come from last season. Obviously, it's at home. It helps. But it's still a damn good team. Those first 5 are difficult. I've seen a lot of 3-1s in the comments, 2-2s, but generally optimistic. And why the hell shouldn't we be? After the end of last season, I think we're in form. We've got a lot of the team coming back. We are not injured going into this season, fingers crossed. Got more good rookies coming in. No reason this team can't go out and put down some dubs early. Going a little later on into the season, past the first 5. So we've got Tampa Bay, then we're at the Ravens. So again, this is a tough schedule, I think. Tampa Bay, probably one of the easier teams, but still, you've got a lot to contend with on that team. They're only a couple of years removed from a Super Bowl. They've still got some very good players on there. But again, quarterback issues at home. You would be expecting that's another victory. And then the Ravens, that's obviously going to be a real big test. Another running team that's got a very dynamic offense, just like ourselves. I've been underachieving these last couple of years. Lamar's back. His contract is down. Really big deal there. So, and then we've got the Raiders before the bye, a Monday night game against someone who's not the Green Bay Packers. That is going to be odd. I mean, 3 games before the bye. As I say, for us guys over here in Britain, we're going to be doing a lot of late nights, but I'm looking forward to this. But up until that bye, I think that is a good schedule. I think it's a really good test of our credentials. I would like us to be at least 5-3 by that point. Even then, kind of maybe at 6-2, but I don't know. Going through this first half of the season, what do we reckon? First 8 games before that bye, I think this team can be 6-2. We might lose against the Chiefs. The Ravens is going to be tough, but outside of that, I think that we can win most of those games. And I think maybe not we should expect to, but again, on our day, we can beat all those teams. We've got a very favorable bye situation. So 6-2 going into there, that would be absolutely great. Who is the Raiders QB? It is Jimmy Garoppolo, I believe. He's gone there this year. So Garops is just like Goff. Can be very good on his day, but that's at home. It's on Monday. I have no doubt you guys over there are going to be making a raucous atmosphere at Ford Field, as you did last year, which is tremendous. I wish I could come over to some of these games, but Jimmy G there, you put him under pressure, he buckle. That Raiders team has struggled these last few years. They've got good players, but eminently beatable. We've got a 7-1 in there. 5-3 feels right. I mean, yeah, I don't think I'd be disappointed if you're over 500 by the bye. I think that is, I could deal with that. And there are some tough games in there. So if we're going to lose a few, then understandable. The team will need time to get going. They'll need to get going quick. But if they do, I think 5-3, 6-2 is perfectly reasonable. Oh, yeah, right. Then the bye. Now, moving on to the second half of the season. Now, this is why I want to start well early. First thing I noticed about this schedule going later on is the amount of away games we've got going on late into the season. So you're at 500 by the bye, you rest as you come back. Chargers is going to be tough. Justin Herbert, that offense. The defense is really good as well on its day. I think they're another who've underachieved a lot. Devin Davis, does anyone see the chat? I'm seeing the chat. I'm only a guest in this, so I cannot see it all. So if I'm missing any of the things that you put in, I do apologize. Obviously, Mike usually runs this show, but he's had to dash very quickly. So I didn't think I'd be hosting this, so you'll have to bear with me as I'm doing so. Chiefs are going to be very tough. Then we get a lot of the conference games. I mean, what have we got? Green Bay early. So before the bye, we've only got one conference game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the second half of this. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Back.
I tried my best.
Thank you so much. So where were you at? Just go ahead and I'll jump in.
So I sort of just got up to the bye. We're just going through record predictions before the bye. And then I've only just noticed it's not until after the bye we've got 5 of the conference schedule games. So obviously we've only got 1 conference game before the bye, which is unusual. Usually you have a lot more before that.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird? How it's Chicago, Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota, Chicago. Like, what in the heck, man?
I mean,
That is
yeah,
weird.
it is. I think they're just trying to protect Justin Fields from us for a while, but we go get at him eventually. Boy Wonder's gonna suffer at the hands of Hutch eventually. But I mean, I was saying that those first 5 games, Mike, they kind of really line up well for me. We've got 2 sort of revenge games at home against the Seahawks. We know what they did to us last year. And the Panthers, who are basically trying to beat us by nicking all our staff and players. And then obviously the 2 road games. I think Atlanta is sneakily good. I don't know about you, but I feel like that first 5 is going to be a big indicator for our season. If you can be above 500, if you can be above 500 after that first 5, I think you show that you're a legitimate team then. I don't know about you, but I feel like that's it for me.
Look, you beat Kansas City. You beat, Seattle Seahawks, Atlanta. Well, Atlanta, not really big of a deal. Green Bay, like it really does set up really well for the Detroit Lions here. And I tell you what, it will tell you a lot about this team. Right now, we're 7-point underdogs at Kansas City. If the Lions could go out there and beat them and then beat Seattle, who we need a revenge game because they beat us and then they won it in that game that ended up knocking us out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it stings still, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the thing is, they're a really good team. And, those first 2 especially, I think are just incredibly difficult. But you've got to win 1. You've got to put a statement win. This ain't Washington from last year. Mm-hmm. This is a statement win you've got to put out early. Then you get Atlanta at home. And like I say, the home advantage is critical. It's good that we've got 3 in the first 5. I was worried that rotten away schedule would be put on us early, but it's not too bad, all things considered. Is the Tampa one at home? I can't see just through the thing. Is that a home game or are we away at them?
What one?
Tampa.
Tampa Bay, it looks like it is home for us.
See, that's good then. 4 in the first 6. That is a chance to put your marker down for the season.
Okay, so let's go game by game. Let's do win prediction because we love doing this stuff. And everybody in the chat do the same thing. We're going to see how many wins we think the Detroit Lions are going to get. So, Ant-Man, we're going to start with week 1. Who do you got winning and why?
I've got the Chiefs winning. I really want to say we're going to win it, but people say the Chiefs start slow. We have also started slow these last 2 years. And, we are a confidence team. We sometimes need a bit of time to get going. I think we'll be competitive. I think we'll be more competitive than the Eagles last year. People say we were competitive in that Eagles game, but they bullied us for the first 3 quarters. It was kind of a 4th quarter comeback. I think we'll hang with the Chiefs all game. And I think they might just beat us in a high-scoring one. But as long as we go there and put a statement out, then I'm all right with that. But it's the Chiefs, it's the Super Bowl winners, and we need to show that we're playoff contenders. There's still a little bit of a gap there at the minute. I just don't think we're going to close it right away.
I'm pulling the upset. I have Detroit winning this game. I think the Jahmyr Gibbs and Ben Johnson coming out, they're going to have no idea what's going on. I think our defense is a little bit better. I know this is a homer pick because last year I definitely would have picked the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think this is a great way to start out with a little bit of trick plays and on 4th downs and doing it week 1. So I'm going to go Lions here for the win. I'm going to take the bet on this one, even though all brains should tell you that it needs to be the Kansas City Chiefs for sure. It definitely would be, but I'll go with Detroit here. Week 2 versus Seattle Seahawks at home.
Lions win. For me, the Seahawks showed that they're what you need to beat to get in the playoffs. We saw that last year. 4 more points in that game against them would have been in the playoffs. They are sort of the boundary marker for being a serious playoff team if you beat them. And we've got them at home. We gave them a good game last year. And I think that we will start better this time. We will also have had a longer break. The players will be more refreshed. We're at home. We've got the atmosphere there. I think we'll beat them. And I think for me, this will be a statement win. I don't think it'll be close. I think we'll absolutely hammer them. And then people will really start to take notice of us.
So I'm going to try to share the screen here. And let me remove this off so we can see it. Let me share screen. Add to stream. There we go. Now we got it both on here. So you got then, so, okay, so for the victory, Seattle Seahawks. So you got 1-1.
Yep. Okay.
I want to take the Lions in this one. I'm going to go the opposite, though. I'll go Seattle Seahawks in this one. It's just, it feels like another time that they get the win. We have a problem with Seattle. So I'll go 1-1 there. Now we're home. Atlanta Falcons. I'm definitely taking the Lions in this one. Not a lot of explanation in here. The Lions are the better football team.
100%. I think so. I think as I was saying while you were gone, the Falcons games in recent years have always been really close and really nervous. You know, remember the TJ touchdown a couple of years ago. Then they beat us by a couple of points last year. It's always, I don't know. We always seem to have a really good game against them, but we're going to win. They're not set at quarterback yet. I think they're a good team, but again, if you want to be getting the playoffs, and I would keep putting this point, you've got to be putting these teams away at home because winning on the road is incredibly difficult. You've got to make your home games count. So yeah, win for us, but I think it'll be harder than the Seahawks game, weirdly enough.
So we're both 2-1, just a little bit different how we got there. Then we're going to Green Bay. I'm going with the victory here at Green Bay. We're going to Green Bay early. It's going to be warm still in Lambeau. This is one of the games I was looking at. When do we go to Lambeau Field? I think we win again, and we're 3-1 at this point.
I mean, we just don't know with Jordan Love, do we? It's such a it's just one position, but it's the one the Packers have been stable at for as long as I've been alive. And I think we lose because Lambeau is still a hard place to go. It really is. And I just don't know. I have this feeling that we might struggle with this one. Because they've still got a good run game. They've still got a decent defense. And winning on the road is tough. I know we did it there at the end of last year, but I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about that one at the minute.
Steve-O says, what if Love is a baller? That is the question mark. We really don't know, right?
No.
We don't know. So, but I'm going to go with what I do know. And I know the Lions offense is going to be really good. I know that. And I do believe the Lions defense is going to be much improved. I just don't, you're right. He is the X factor. We just don't know. It's just it's an unknown thing now. You know, we'll have to watch preseason, then watch how they start their regular season off. For sure, but you're 2-2. I'm 3-1. Then we're going to Carolina. Or no, at home. Sorry, Carolina comes to Detroit. We're winning this game. We got beat last year. I'm sorry. We're going to win this game. I got the Lions 4-1 at this point. There's many reasons why we're going to win this game. First off, we got embarrassed last year. We're going to remove that embarrassment.
I fully agree. I think we're going to win this one, and I think we need to win this one. What this team has been really good at is overcoming obstacles when put in their way. I mean, year one, it was just such a rotten situation. Then year two, the 1-6 start, we were able to overcome that. And then that Panthers hammering they gave us is like the next obstacle in the way, like that psychological thing. You've got to get that out your system. And as I was saying, it shows how far you're going to come as a team. So they've got the same running backs, most of the same offensive line. I know Luana's gone, but you've got to show that you can adapt to them and that you've learned your lesson. So this is putting a statement down early. Again, we're at home. I expect that to make the difference. We win.
So I'm at 4-1. You're at
3-2
at this point. Now Tampa Bay, we're facing the Buccaneers. I got the win here again. I know this sounds crazy, folks. 5-1. But I got the Lions winning this game. They were starting to fall apart even with Tom Brady, and I really don't believe that this team's improved. So I'll go with the Lions in this game. I think the Lions offense is legit, and I think the defense is going to be I think the defense is going to get a ton of turnovers throughout this season, and this is a good one with Baker Mayfield to get a couple turnovers in here. So I got the Detroit Lions going 5-1, Tampa Bay.
I've got us winning this again. Obviously, Tampa, it is a case of they're a bad team now. They're paying for their Super Bowl. It's an old team. They've got trouble pretty much everywhere on the roster at the minute. So, and that front seven's gone. It's not what it was when it won a Super Bowl. That was what that team was based off, and that's not there anymore. So again, they are a weak team, and we need to pick them off because it will still be a big win for us. The Bucs will. They've been to the postseason a lot more than us recently. This is statement wins, putting them together. We win again.
Again, we're live on Lions Nation Unite as well as my personal channel. I want to do a big shout out to, now I'm not getting paid for this, folks. She cleaned my house today because I needed help getting some cleaning because we're looking to potentially sell the house here. So huge shout out to Lindsay Becker, Simply Clean here in Holland, Michigan. If you guys want to get your house cleaned, she does a phenomenal job. We had a great time, her cleaning, me watching. It was beautiful. Simply Clean, Lindsay Becker, house cleaning services. Huge shout out, and I'll probably take her and her husband to a Lions game this year. So shout out them. If you need your house clean in Holland, y'all know where to go. Now we're back we're going to Baltimore. It's going to be a tough game. To me, this is a tough game. At Baltimore, mobile quarterback. I felt like they got Lamar back. They did get some more pieces. I have the Lions losing this game. What do you got?
I'm so split on Baltimore. You know, they just seem to constantly underachieve, that team does, despite having some really good players. For me, out of the first three away ones, this is the one I would target us to really upset them, because we play their game, running the football, taking time off the clock, and I think this is where we'll have had a couple of home games, confidence will be up, coming to the bye. I think we can shock them. I think we can go to Baltimore and win. I would have them as a win on that one.
That would be amazing. So we
and
have
it's
the same
JMO's
record
game
then.
back, and it's JMO's first game back as well. So new weapon, 150 yards on the day, baby.
So right now we got the same record. All right, so we're at the same point, just a little bit different of wins and losses. Same record though. Now we're back home, Las Vegas here. I have the Lions winning this game. Do I really need to explain a lot? I think Josh McDaniels' offense will be better. I think Derek Carr is better than Jimmy Garoppolo. They lost Derek Carr. I think the Lions win this game. What do you have?
Yeah, I've got us winning as well. I mean, Garoppolo's one of those mid quarterbacks who would, in previous years, have punished the hell out of us. But I think we've really, now the pass rush is there, I think we've really got better against guys like this. And they don't have an awful lot protecting Jimmy G this year. You saw last year they struggled to protect Carr all the time. So it's on the lights Monday. We've got a bye coming up. Going into that bye with a win will be great. And I would expect us to go all in on that because they've got 2 weeks break after. I think we'll work harder, fight harder. I think we'll beat them.
So the Lions, at this point, my record is 6-2. We're at the bye week. You're 6-2 at the bye week. That would be a great way to start the first half of the NFL season, to be 6-2 going against the likes of the Kansas City Chiefs, Seattle Seahawks, and the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, I think Carolina will be a little bit tough there. We get a perfect break, week 9, middle of the season. Absolutely love it. That's always the first thing I look at. We got 4, big national televised games, and week 18 will probably be televised. I'm just going to assume that it's the Minnesota Vikings, who is going to be probably a playoff contending team as well. We're off the bye week. We win the bye week. We go into the Los Angeles Chargers. That's going to be a tough game. I think that's going to be a tough game. But we did come off a bye week. What is your thoughts on this one? Week 10, Justin Herbert in that team.
This is one that I thought on paper, it looks very difficult, and it is very difficult. That offense, Justin Herbert alone, is crazily good. But coming off the bye, you're kind of just feeling like this could be another one we could upset, but I don't know. I just feel like, again, winning on the road is difficult. That is a team that can put up a lot of points on you. They will give up a lot, but they will put up a lot on you as well.
Yeah.
I think we might have some post-bye hangover. I think we might lose that one.
I'm going with you. I'm taking the loss on this one as well. It's just a tough one, and you're going all the way to the West Coast over there, and the team is a good team, and it's going to be a little bit tough there. So we're 6-3 at this point. Chicago comes to town. I got the Lions winning 7-3. I think just we're a better overall team than Chicago Bears. I think they're going to be tougher than they were last year. But at the end of the day, Chicago's coming to Detroit. The fandom is going to be absolutely crazy. Lions win that game. We're 7-3.
Yeah, agreed. Screw it. I'm going to wind up Bears fans. I think it'll be one of our easiest wins of the season. I think we were better than them last year. And I mean, we had a lot of issues last year as well, and we still beat them. Come from behind victory, 2 scores down, still beat them when we had our own troubles. And I think we're a lot more rounded this year. So, yeah, we're going to beat them.
Yeah, so easy victory for the Lions right there. That's like another bye week. So basically we have 2 bye weeks in 3 weeks. So that's great. Then we're home again, Green Bay. I have the Lions sweeping them. I have 8-3 at this point. We sweep Green Bay again, and Lions fans are on fire with happiness. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, we win. I've got them splitting. I think that's reasonably expectational with those. I think sweeping's fine. Splitting's fine. So yeah, we got to beat them at home.
Then we're going to New Orleans. I think this is gonna be a fun game because you got the coaching staff. Basically, you got Dan Campbell, you got Aaron Glenn. A lot of these New Orleans Saints coaches for the Detroit Lions. It's kind of like a homecoming, I guess, or for them somewhat. But I think it's going to be a tough game. I think Derek Carr is going to be really good for New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara, that's going to be tough. I'm going to take New Orleans in this one. I think 8-4. What do you got?
I don't rate the Saints. I think they are a team who have been bad these last few years in a bad division, and I don't see how they've got better. I know Carr's good, and he might have had a couple of wins on, but for me, I'm looking for the game where the statement is sent out that we really mean business this year. And I know I've got us on a good record at this point, but going to New Orleans, to the Dome, and winning would be the message that's sent out there that, yeah, we're legit and for real. So I've got us winning in New Orleans. Obviously, a lot can happen before then, but initial thoughts is we can go there and win. We should not be afraid of them. This is a team who should believe in themselves and can do. The Detroit Lions of 2023 are the team that can and will. That's it.
Yes, in the chat, Mike K. First off, great name. I've had the schedule earlier. It was sent to me from my bosses, so I'm spoiling it for other people that want to wait till 8 o'clock. But this is the schedule right here. So this is the real schedule for the Detroit Lions here. And then we're at Chicago.
Sorry.
Screw it. I'm sweeping Chicago. I don't care. We go to Chicago. I know it was tough last time we played in Chicago. We win. I got the Lions winning this game. Hell yeah. 9 wins at this point. What do you got?
Yep. Go to Soldier Field and win again. We are a better team, and I know it's interconference, but if you want to have legitimate aspirations of reaching the playoffs, you have to beat teams like that, even at their place. So I've got a sweep in them too.
So I'm at 9 wins right now, I believe. I'm at 9 wins right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm pretty close. Where are you at?
I think I'm at 10.
10 wins, 10. So 9 and 10. So this is a great. If this happens, folks, this is great. Okay, then we're at home versus the Denver Broncos. I don't believe in let Russ cook. I do believe Sean Payton's a much better coach, but I just feel like our secondary is going to pick him apart. He's just throwing interceptions, and we got such a good. I have us winning that game. We're at 10 wins. Your thoughts?
I think this is going to be incredibly tough. I know the Broncos sucked last year, but they were kind of forced on us. And I think they've been very good in their acquisitions in the offseason. I think they've got a much better offensive line to protect Russ now. I think that'll be a very difficult game. And we're coming off the back of a couple of heavy road games. I think this could be the part. This might be the part where they slip up and start to lose their nerve if we're at the point where I think they're going to be. But I think we squeak by them. So I've got them at 11 now.
Then we're going to Minnesota Vikings. I don't think we sweep Minnesota. I think we take the loss here. They're still a good team, even though they did lose a little bit. And they're probably going to lose Cook as well. Sounds like he'll get traded. But they still got some firepower a little bit there. So I got the Lions losing this game. We're still at 10 wins at this point. Your thoughts?
Yeah, likewise. I mean, yeah, we usually split with the Vikings, and I feel like that's going to be no different this year. It's a tough place to go, and they are a decent team. And, again, we're going to be coming off the back of a rough group of fixtures. I think we'll lose that one.
Still at 10 wins. We're going to Dallas. This is going to be a very good game. We're always competitive. It's always feisty versus the Dallas Cowboys, whether it be in Dallas or at Detroit with the Matthew Stafford comebacks and all this stuff. This is going to be a really hard game because they got a fantastic defense. They got a pretty good offense. Oh, I feel like this game is going to come down to the last possession here. And I'm going to have Dallas win this game. And I hate it because I don't like Dallas at all.
So you should know by now, Detroit Lions seasons are stories, and in stories you have the highs and you have the lows. We had it last year, and this is going to be no different. We're going to start well. We're going to have a little bit of a blip, but we're going to carry on, and then we're going to get to this end part of the season. The playoffs are in sight. We may already be in there with, I think I've got us at 11 wins at this point. Then that's where the nerves are going to come in. Dallas, very good team. Go into their ground. I think they might kick our ass. I think that might be kind of our Carolina. It'll be 2 in the bounce we've lost coming up to the postseason. We'll be like, can they do it? And then, spoiler alert, I think we can. I think that's our last little nervous moment before we take the plunge into the unknown depths. I think we'll lose.
So you got 11 wins. I'm at 10 wins. Then this game here, Week 18, gets flexed. Minnesota comes to Detroit. This is going to get flexed. It will be for the NFC North, and I got the Detroit Lions winning this game, beating them, winning the NFC North for the first time ever because we've never won the NFC North. And it's a primetime game. We have home field. We have home field advantage for the first playoff, and I'm really happy. Lions fans are doing backflips. I'm happy as hell. Lions finished the regular season with me with 11 wins. What is your thought here?
So like I said, Lions season is a story. Get to the last week, like you say, it's flexed, possible big implications. People are wondering, have we got the bottle? Have we got the nerves to get over the line? Yes, we do. This is what this team does. Proves people wrong. Last week, we kicked the Vikings' ass and we head into the postseason with a whole load of momentum. So I got them finishing with 12 at 12-5.
12-5 and 11-6. What in the comments section is your overall record as you look at this bad boy right now? Hit that like button as well, whether you're on my personal channel, Lions Nation Unite. Smash the thumbs up if you're on Facebook. If you're on Twitter, do a tweet, and we'll do a Ultra Combo. We got 13-4 from Michael Bravute. We got 11-6. Patty Grime rocking with me right there at 11-6. We got 12 wins from my man Ant-Man. We got 10-7, 11-6, 14-3, Paul Ginder, 10-7, my man Dr. Detroit, 11-6, 12-5, 13-4, 13-4. Expectations are high, Ant-Man. Look at this. The expectations are high for this football team.
And I think they should be because, your team has to keep improving. It has to keep getting better. We went from a 3-win team. We went 1-6 last year, and we just missed in the playoffs. The team noticeably got better when we got healthy, when the team is confident and plays well. It can beat anybody on its day. And, we finished, 9 wins last year? 9 wins? No. So you're at 9. And last year, again, we had all those injury worries. We had that rotten start. All you've got to do is convert that 1-6 into 3-3. And you're at 11 wins. So we've got 11-12. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that we can't do what we did last year. And we've got a better team this year. We've got a more experienced team. We forget our team is very young. But a lot of these guys now, they're getting into the second year, the third year. They're more experienced. They're just going to keep getting better naturally. That's the good point of having a young team. it will just naturally progress, even if you make no adjustments to it. So there's no reason we can't go out and do this. As I said, those first 5 weeks are critical because we start slow, we play catch up. I want this team to be under pressure every single week, not at 1-6 with all the pressure off their shoulders and they're just playing for pride and whatever. I want them to win early. And you've got the opportunity. You've got 2 home games there in Seattle and Atlanta, which are eminently winnable. And then we can go to Green Bay. And I know we had us losing there, but if you're coming off the back of 2 big home wins, you go there, you kick their ass. Then you're at home again for 2 more. You can win again. And then you go to Baltimore and you're like, yeah, we got nothing to lose. We got all the confidence in the world. We can go there and we can beat them. And then you finish off with a Monday game. So you've got a nice long week off from the Baltimore game to the Vegas game at home. And then you got a bye. It's set up as well as you could want this season to be set up for us. If you're at plus 500 or better before that bye, that second half of the season is there to be ripped into. And I think we should have expectation this year. I think this team needs to show that it's got the mettle to withstand pressure all season. And I think they should do that.
What I really like, too, is we haven't won a game in Thanksgiving in a long time. And I think this year we're winning this game. Like, it's been close. Like, we faced the Bills, and then we faced the Bears. It's been a drought of losing on Thanksgiving. I'm freaking tired of it. Like, you want to not lose on that day. Folks, we're winning week 12. We're winning Thanksgiving. I'm just telling you that right now. We are definitely winning on this game. There is no doubt in my mind that this game is a victory, and it's going to end this. I think, been 5 years? 4 or 5 years since we won on Thanksgiving? It ends it today.
And that's what this season is. It's the breaking of all those narratives now, isn't it? We've had the 2 years of being plucky, scrappy underdogs. Now we've got to show that we can win on Thanksgiving. We've got to show that we can win the big games early on in the season. We've got to get that out of the system. We've got to show that we can win the conference, get that out of our system, show we can get into the postseason, get out of our system. This is where we've got to start aiming for some of the loftier targets this season now. I want some of these removing. I want the starts better. I would like at least the conference. I would like us to win the NFC North this year because I think it's eminently doable. And it's just going to keep getting harder from here on out. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I'm also a bit trepidatious as well. That start, again, I keep going back to it, is critical. You lose those first 2, and then Atlanta come and shock you, and then you're going to Green Bay, and then it could soon spiral. And I don't want that. They've got to start strong. They've got to start fast. There are no excuses this year. No, these are really good teams, and we're just not. No, go out there and beat them. Show them that you are worthy of going to the postseason. Got to lay down the law early.
If you got any questions on the schedule, do hashtag lines, do hashtag something. We will go ahead and answer it. What is your most intriguing game? What is the game, Ant-Man, you're most excited to watch?
The Seattle game. I think that's where the boundary was last year, wasn't it, Mike? 3 points and 1 play at the end of their game. That is the fine margins that keep you out of the postseason or get you in it. And I think Seattle are a good team. They're a playoff caliber team. And if you can beat them, I think that sets the tone for everything. Regardless of what happens against Kansas, you beat them and get that bugbear off your back from last year. I think everything becomes a lot easier after that. I want to see us beat them this time. I want us to see and get over the hump. It'd be the same with the Panthers, but for me, the Seattle one's just more important. That week 2, that's where you build your momentum. That's where your season is for me, right there.
I'm going week 1, Kansas City Chiefs. First off, we're going to be live at the Soaring Eagle Casino. We'll be in VIP. Herm, myself, Chrissy. Every away game right now, we're probably going to be at the casino streaming this bad boy. And so make sure you guys show up. It's going to be fun. I can't even imagine how hyped it's going to be there. Literally, we're starting the NFL season. I'm going to be going off the chain. Starting the NFL season, prime time against the Super Bowl champions. If the Lions win this game, we're going to get a ton of love. So I really want the Lions to come out and throw all the tricks. And I expect Ben Johnson to to be putting Jahmyr Gibbs in all sorts of great positions and scheme-wise and how he's going to utilize him throughout this game. I am super excited for this week 1 matchup. Could not believe they gave the Detroit Lions the first game of the year against Kansas City. You got red versus blue, real red. It's going to be loud at Kansas City. It's going to be loud at Arrowhead. I am so excited for this game. When I initially got told this by Raw podcast this morning, I'm like, what? Oh, that's a tough game. I'm like, real? It's the first game of the year? Oh, hell yeah. Like, this is what you want as Lions fans. We complained last year all the games were at 1 p.m. Well, the NFL says, you guys made the hype. We're going to put you in prime time. We're going to put you in the best slot. The whole world is going to watch this game, the first game of the year. So I'm excited as hell for this game. We got
100. But I want us to compete in this game.
Hell yeah.
I'm not going to accept a meager defeat to the Chiefs.
No.
Again, this is the year for me. I've given them 2 years of completely clean passes because of the situation we're in. You've got to go there and you've got to fight to the wire and set yourself up for this season. Even if you lose, if you go out there and you push them every inch of the way and start as you mean to go on, that's what they need to do. And nothing less is acceptable.
Matty P, #Mike. Do you remember what happened the last time Goff faced off against Mahomes on prime time? Yeah, Goff defeated him. 50-point games. Was it 54-51? If Goff can do that week 1, oh, hell yeah. Like, you know, right now, there's the bandwagon for Lions, bandwagon fans. That Honolulu Blue and Kool-Aid will be freaking doused out to everybody if the Lions go out there and defeat Kansas City against that week 1 match. Like, you're going to be drunk. I'm removing Jim Jones from that Kool-Aid. That's going to be the great Kool-Aid, not the kill you Kool-Aid. #smash the hole. Who rushes more yards, touchdowns, Jamal or Montgomery in the Norland game? Ooh. For more rushing yards, I'll give it to David Montgomery. All purpose, I'll give it to Jahmyr. What you got, Ant?
I think it'd be Monty. Was the question Monty and Jamal? Because Jamal's on their team, isn't he? Mm-hmm. Monty all every step of the way. Jamal's going to find that he's not going to fit the system there, and he's going to be playing second fiddle every week. So, yeah, definitely Monty.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you look at even Jamal Williams, they gave him a lot of opportunity to run the football. I just think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be used all over the field, not just running. He'll be pretty much that offensive weapon that we need him to be all around. #FGB, yeah. I only see 4 primetime games. Is that right? It is correct, Paul Ginder. 4 primetime games. That is what you got right there. 2 Thursdays, a Monday, and Thanksgiving, but expect it to be 5 because I expect week 18 to be a primetime game.
And yeah, and I saw Matty put a comment. Yes, I will be watching every single game till about 4 a.m. So that's the level of commitment we put into these primetime games. So, but I'd rather it be that way. I want to see them in primetime. So yeah, we'll be up for every single game.
You're going to be one tired guy because you're not going to fall asleep after we win or lose. It's going to be.
Hey, if we win that Chiefs game first week, then I'll do a lap of the neighborhood and I'll live stream it or something at like 4 a.m. and wake everyone up and chase the milkman round. So yeah, there you go.
#Lions question: will Jared Goff continue his interception-free streak going? He did so good. It's really hard to say, like, is he going to keep it going? My expectations is he's going to be a quarterback. He'll throw an interception. I mean, if he kept it up, it's an insane stat line right now, like how he's just not throwing interceptions. But at some point, he's going to throw one. All quarterbacks do. I don't know how long you can keep up with that. It's just like it's one of those impossible tasks. So I expect him to throw, some interceptions this season for sure. I just don't know when it will happen. Remember, because there's some of those passes he threw last year that didn't get intercepted that was close to being intercepted. So it was just one of those deals. Does it sting a bit we don't see J-Mo in prime time versus the Chiefs? Yeah, it does. I'd have loved to see versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Speed versus speed. It would have been amazing. What about you?
Oh, of course I am. I think JMO is special. I'm not looked forward to the debut of a player any more than him for years. He's going to be kicking himself that he's missing 2 primetime games against Kansas and Green Bay. But hopefully this just refocuses his mind and makes him more hungrier when he gets back. Because, I mean, you've got away at Baltimore and then under the Monday night lights against Vegas. That is your chance for redemption there, JMO. Straight into the thick of it, making plays, winning those big games. So I'm gutted that he's missing out, but I'm looking forward just as much to his return.
Right now, Jason, that would be the Week 7 matchup at Baltimore Ravens. That's when he'd be returning. He's suspended the first 6 games, so he can return at Baltimore. But he could, ask for the suspension to get reduced, and, that's wait-and-see approach. But, yes, as of right now, he'd be back then. Where do you rank in the top secondary units? Oof. I ranked it right now, line secondary is top 5. I do. I mean, I'm just the amount of players they got that can get turnovers is on a different level right now. And you look at the safety room itself is just absolutely crazy. So I'm gonna say top 5. What's up, Dan? Yeah, man, good one, Dan. Good one. Great conversation.
Oh, sorry, man. I didn't have the sound on yet. What's going on?
There is the schedule. I've had it up for about an hour now. Thoughts on the schedule?
I haven't seen it yet there, Mike.
It's up on the screen.
I don't see it on your screen. Sorry. Your screen's blank to me.
All right, well, this right there. That is the schedule right there. At Kansas City, Week 1 versus Seattle. Week 2, Atlanta at home. Week 3, at Green Bay. Week 4 versus Carolina. Week 5, Tampa Bay. Week 6, at Baltimore. Week 7, 8, we're Monday Night Football, home, Raiders, bye week, Week 9, Chargers, 10, versus Chicago, versus Green Bay, at New Orleans, at Chicago, versus Denver, at Minnesota, at Dallas, versus Minnesota.
Obviously a very impressive schedule. I think it really speaks volumes what the NFL, Goodell, and the powers that be say about the Detroit Lions, the fact that they have us playing the opening day kickoff game Thursday night. And then you look at some of the other schedules they put together with the Lions. I mean, they're banking on Detroit being a marketable franchise this season.
What do you think about going against Kansas City for the start of the whole NFL season, Week 1 at Kansas City?
I think it's a great matchup. And we talk about this team being a team that can go somewhere, win the division, make a run in the playoffs. There's even some talk about the Lions being a Super Bowl contender. And here you're going to have your opportunity when all eyes across the country are going to be able to come in and watch you and say, hey, are they pretenders or are they for real? Last year was a great story. You had a phenomenal end of the season with the Lions. And then, of course, the big game in Green Bay, ending Aaron Rodgers' career there. All the momentum of the world is going for Detroit. And if we're going to find out if they are pretenders or if they're for real, and the NFL is banking on that being the game of all games to kick off the season.
Do the Lions win that game? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to take Lions 31, Kansas City 24.
Ooh, beating them. I actually have the Lions winning that game too. Hedging Lions, can we sweep the division if the schedule does land this way? This is the schedule. This is the real schedule, folks. I had it a while ago. I don't think we sweep the division. That's just too difficult to do. Do you think we sweep the division, Ant-Man? I already know you said no because you already said we lose to Minnesota.
No, I think, we went 5-1 last year, but it's very rare that you do that twice. Someone always gets the upper hand on you eventually. And like I say, the Vikings usually have our number at least once. I think the Packers might have our number once. So I don't think we'll sweep, but I think we'll win it. I do.
What do you think? Do we sweep it, Dan?
No, I think there's all the teams look like favorable matchups to Detroit, but I would say here's some coach speak. You're going to win a game you shouldn't have won or you weren't projected to win at some point in the season. You're going to lose a game you shouldn't. And I think there's enough talent throughout the division where somebody, is going to catch us on a bad day.
What do you think about the Lions having a bye week 9?
I think that's pretty good. I think that's spaced out pretty decently throughout the season. The other part is you look at some of the games they have. So start with week 1. You're going to have all offseason to prepare for this game. You're going to not really see any starters play meaningful minutes in the preseason. Now, once you're done with Thursday, you've got 10 days to prepare for whoever's in week 2. You're going to be able to be a little bit healthier, a little bit fresher for that second game. I mean, I think things have set up beautifully for us.
Mike, how is it hard to believe we cannot sweep the division when we went 5-1 last year? I agree, we went 5-1 last year, but it's still really difficult to sweep a division. Like, every team has a bad game. Even good teams have bad games, and bad teams have good games. That's just the NFL. The parity is like that. It's just what we did last year doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen this year. So it's difficult. Now, we did it with Jim Caldwell a couple years back. We sweep the division, but we didn't make the playoffs that year. It's just really difficult to do. You know, I mean, look, last year we almost lost to the Chicago Bears in Chicago and they sucked. It's just the way that the NFL works. Some, like, out of nowhere, the Houston Texans wins a game and Chicago loses a game and ends up being, you know, different in the drafts. It's just one of those things. Parity in the NFL is good. It's just hard to sweep a division, in my opinion. That's why I think the speculation needs to calm down. It's all speculation. You giving up on Bro too quick. I have the Lions winning 11 games. That's not giving up. What's your win total there, Dan, for this?
You know, based on what we've talked about before and what I think this team is going to be, I'm with you. I think they're in the realm of, 10 to 12 wins. So we'll just say 11. I think there's a lot of talent on this team. I think they got a division that's down this year. They've got some favorable matchups. I mean, they're going to take some hits here and there, but if they're really going to be a team to make a push in the playoffs, you better win 10 to 12 games.
Yeah, I got them doing 11 there. I think they definitely can get it. Ant-Man's got 12. They're talking about JMO. Okay. I was talking about somebody in the chat. Oh, okay. Okay, it happens. It happens, folks. It definitely does. Let's see. Lions Nation, I think that versus Kansas City, they Gibbs, like 49ers use Samuel, and how Vikings use Percy. He will line up as a receiver many times. Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're going to do with Gibbs. He's going to be all over the place. Ant-Man loves Gibbs. What do you think they're going to do for him at Kansas City?
Oh, I think you're going to get lots of motion. I think you're going to get lots of trickery. I think that the Chiefs are going to eat a bit of their own medicine in this one because, like I say, it's just an opportunity to get at them. I think we might run the ball a bit more. I think the D-line's the weak part on that defense there, but I think you're going to see every trick in the book because, Andy Reid's the master at it and Ben Johnson is. I think it's just going to be such a wonderfully exciting game to watch. I think if the over-under, if I was doing an over-under, I'd put it at like 70 or something like that. It'd be very, very high, and I'd take the over on it.
Now, right now, they have Kansas City winning by 7 points. If you guys love betting, you need to go to BetUS, put the promo code LIONS125 now, and bet the Lions to cover 7 points. Come on, guys. I don't see Kansas City whooping on us by 7 points. That is definitely a bet you want to make right now. It's going to change at some point for sure. What do you think they're going to do with Jahmyr Gibbs, Dan, versus Kansas City week 1?
A lot of jet sweeps. I think you're going to have them out in the slot a lot. You're going to have trips formations out, overloading one side of Kansas City's defense. They're going to move him around and have him play all across the field. I think that was the intention from day one when getting him. Yes, is he going to be inside to play against some running downs? But the other part is they're going to motion him out wide and create mismatches. They're going to force Kansas City and anybody who lines up to defend us to show what kind of defense they're going to be in and then force mismatch problems with them.
What do you think about that week 2 matchup, Dan? Seattle Seahawks revenge game, big revenge game.
That's going to be, I think, a game sort of like last year that's going to determine a playoff seed. Seattle's no joke. They've improved their team quite a bit. Lions have as well. Yep. Somebody's going to get a real advantage in playoff seeding with that win.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a tough game. Yep. I want the Lions to win bad in that one because it is a revenge game. But good God, it's going to be tough. Ant-Man, can we do it?
Yeah, we nearly did last year. And I mean, again, we faced the Seahawks, earlier in the season when we were in our slump, when we had shed loads of players out injured, and we still nearly beat them then. So you're coming into this season healthy, better. Obviously, they're going to be better as well, but you're at home. And again, this is all about showing your legitimacy to get into the playoffs. If you want to be a playoff team who can win your conference, you have to beat teams of the caliber of Seattle at home. It no ifs, ands, or buts. You've got to. And this is the season of us that we have got to. I'm not going to accept we fought hard and that, because if we lose against the Chiefs and we lose against them, the season can derail. This is all about momentum. For a team like ours, it's so critical. Momentum is a real thing, and you've got to start in those first few weeks. You scalp either the Chiefs or the Seahawks, there's your momentum, and you can dig into the rest of the season then. But I think we can, and I think we should.
There, it's official, folks. Just like I had on there before, it has now been released. That is the Detroit Lions schedule there for you all to enjoy and look at. That's what we got going on there. And 100% official there. 100% official. So there we go, folks. Record. Let's do record prediction before we get off, because I know the Detroit Lions YouTube channel is going live too. You can hear it from their perspective. I got 11 wins. Ant-Man, what do you got?
12.
Dan.
I'm going to go with 10.
10 wins. Dan he's at the bottom of the total poll for a reason here.
Oh, hello. Cowboys games are Monday Night Football. Is that?
There we go, folks.
The Cowboys game is Monday Night Football.
Week A-17.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay, well, add another big game to it. So that's 5, right? So you got 1. Yeah. You got 5 primetime games.
Cheifs has just tweeted it. Yeah. We've got the Raiders and the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Oh, wow. I am really going to need to get the caffeine loaded up for this season.
So we may have 6 primetime games. So we're at 5 right now. We may have 6 with that Week 18 to be determined.
All right, I changed my mind. We can't lose to the Cowboys on prime time. We're going to kick their ass. Oh,
God, I can't lose those.
13 wins, folks. I've just flipped. I'm not losing to the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Screw that.
Man. We can't lose to the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. We can't do it. We can't do it. It's got to be a victory for our beloved Detroit Lions. Oh, man. Well, folks, I appreciate everybody hanging out. I can't wait to hear what the Lions YouTube channel and the other media says. So there it is, folks. The Detroit Lions schedule. Fellas, we got to say.
I'm absolutely looking forward to this season more than I have in years. I just can't wait for it to come, and I can't wait for us to start kicking ass. So bring on all comers. So we go bite your kneecaps.
Dan?
I think it's the most legit team since maybe the 91-92 team for the Lions to actually get to the Super Bowl. You look at the schedule, you look at the faith and what Vegas is saying on top of the NFL itself. You look at the people that are running this, and they're saying Detroit is for real. That's why we're getting all these primetime games. That's why we're getting all the notoriety. So the pressure's on. Dan Campbell did not allow this to get to the team's heads. They need to come out week 1, win, lose, or draw, and come out and establish that this is a team that's ready to make a run for the division and then the Super Bowl.
Adios, folks. Let's get those wins here soon.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour. Take a cold shower, scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder, and f all the doubters, they're just downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't